Have you ever noticed how, after a certain age, dressing well seems to bother some people? All it takes is showing up with perfectly styled hair, a thoughtfully chosen outfit, and there it is, that ironic comment. Why are you so dressed up? Or, oh, so you think you're something now, huh? Today, I'm going to show you how to keep your elegance and confidence even when people try to tear you down. But why is it that simply dressing well, putting more effort into your appearance, bothers some people so much? That's the topic of today's video, and I chose it because I've realized this happens far more often than we think. This kind of behavior and reaction can hold back women who are trying to improve. It can discourage a woman who is making the effort to dress better, to get ready every day, to pay attention to details, and all of that is essential for boosting our presence and self-esteem. The truth is, the moment you start investing in yourself, choosing better clothes, more intentional and refined combinations, the criticism inevitably begins. And many of these comments come disguised as compliments. Wow, why are you all dressed up? What's with all the effort? You don't even look like yourself. These remarks can come at work, from family, in your circle of friends, and yes, even from people who love you. Maybe it's not always meant to be cruel, but the effect can be the same, making you feel insecure, uncomfortable, and even question your choices. And in the digital world, it's no different. There are people who criticize channels like Isabella Moretti, saying, "Fashion for women over 50 is superficial," or "People who watch this don't have real priorities." But the truth is, those people don't understand. Behind every choice to dress well, there's self-esteem, freedom, and a genuine desire to live with more beauty, grace, and presence. What I want you to understand today is simple. Those criticisms are not about you. They speak volumes about the other person, about their insecurities, frustrations, and, very often, envy disguised as concern. If you agree with me, I want you to write this sentence in the comments. I will not shrink myself to fit anyone's standards. Let's fill this space with declarations of self-love and elegance. Let's make sure it's etched in your mind and in the minds of every woman who passes through here. Share this message with a friend who needs to hear it too. And since we can't control what people say, let's talk about what we can control, our reaction. That's why I've prepared 7 ways to maintain your elegance after 50, even when you're being criticized. 1. Keep impeccable posture. When someone makes a sarcastic or hurtful comment, our body often reacts before we even realize it. It's almost automatic. Shoulders slump, eyes look away, voice softens, as if we want to make ourselves as small as possible so we won't be noticed. This reaction is understandable, but it's the exact opposite of what we should do. True elegance begins with how you physically carry yourself in the world. Posture isn't just about appearance. It's a reflection of your self-confidence and the respect you have for yourself. A straight back, softly aligned shoulders, and a slightly lifted chin send a silent message of security, strength, and presence, even when you don't say a single word. It's not about arrogance. It's about consciously occupying your space. When you hold your posture correctly, you not only preserve your image, but also protect your energy. This strong physical presence keeps negative comments from finding a place to settle inside you. It's as if your body creates an invisible shield, reminding not only others, but also yourself that you are in control of your own story. There's also a powerful physical benefit. Good posture improves breathing, allowing air to circulate better, which helps you stay calm in uncomfortable situations. By breathing deeply, you gain time to think, choose how to respond, and avoid impulsive reactions. So the next time you hear something meant to belittle you, don't shrink, don't bow your head. Picture a confident woman walking into a room, effortlessly commanding respect simply by the way she stands. Take a deep breath, align yourself, and remember, your posture is your calling card and your silent shield against anyone trying to shake who you are. 2. Keep getting ready every single day. One of the most common traps when we receive criticism is to start changing positive habits just to avoid further comments. And in that process, many women give up something that once made them feel good, the habit of getting ready every day. It's as if, to avoid provoking someone's opinion, they choose to hide in overly neutral clothes, unintentional outfits, and hastily tied hair. But the truth is, when you do this, you're not protecting the other person. You're robbing yourself of a precious moment of self-care. Getting ready each day isn't just about picking a pretty outfit. It's a quiet ritual that reinforces your self-worth and value. It's looking in the mirror and recognizing yourself, seeing that you're caring for the most important person in your life, you. As we get older, this gesture becomes even more meaningful. It's proof that time may pass, but self-love doesn't have to fade. In fact, it should grow stronger. Dressing with intention is a daily reminder that you are a priority in your own life. It's telling yourself, I deserve to feel beautiful, elegant, and confident, not to please others, but because it makes me feel good. Don't let a hurtful comment steal that joy from you. Keep choosing pieces that flatter you, colors that brighten your face, cuts that express the confident and fascinating woman you are. Every time you get ready, you send a message to the world and to yourself that you are present in your own story and unafraid to be seen. 3. Don't apologize for being well-dressed. It's remarkable how, for many women, dressing well still seems like something that needs to be justified. The moment they receive a comment, whether genuinely meant or laced with irony, the automatic response is, "Oh, I didn't really make much of an effort. It's only because I had another appointment," or "I didn't mean to get so dressed up." These phrases, though seemingly harmless, carry a silent weight. They diminish your own value. It's as if you're saying you don't have the right to present yourself well without a valid explanation. And deep down, this attitude ends up validating the opinion of those who believe your elegance is too much or unnecessary. The truth is, dressing well is not arrogance, and it's certainly not an apology to the world. It's an act of self-care and self-respect. Every piece you choose, every detail in your look is a conscious decision to show the world and remind yourself that you value who you are and the image you project. When you receive a comment, whether full of admiration or with a hint of subtle criticism, remain serene. A soft smile, steady eye contact, and a simple "thank you" close the conversation with elegance and make it clear you are not ashamed of your choice. And remember, there is nothing wrong with taking up your visual space. On the contrary, it's a quiet way of inspiring other women to allow themselves the same freedom. When you stop apologizing for your elegance, you send a powerful message. I deserve to be at my best, and I don't need anyone's permission for it. 4. Distance yourself from comparisons. Comparing yourself to others is one of the fastest ways to weaken your own confidence, especially when it comes to appearance. It's easy to fall into the trap of looking around and trying to blend in with the average, believing it's safer not to stand out, to dress like everyone else, to avoid drawing attention. But real freedom begins the moment you understand you don't need to fit into the majority standard. Your life, your story, and your image carry experiences, achievements, and lessons that are uniquely yours. So why try to mold yourself to the good enough that pleases others? When you dress in a way that you truly enjoy, that flatters your body and represents your personality, you step away from unfair, exhausting comparisons. This doesn't mean shutting yourself off from outside inspiration, but rather filtering what uplifts you and discarding what only feeds insecurity. The problem with blindly following a standard is that it changes constantly, and trying to keep up with every external expectation is a race with no finish line. Choosing your own path is liberating. A woman who wears what makes her feel good, regardless of what others are wearing, radiates a confidence that cannot be copied. So instead of asking yourself whether you're more dressed up or more elegant than the majority, ask, does this outfit represent who I am today? If the answer is yes, you're already on the right path, and any comparison instantly becomes irrelevant. 5. Wear clothes that reflect who you are. True elegance goes far beyond the price tag, the perfect cut, or the finest fabric. It begins with the connection between the clothes you wear and the woman you are. When every choice in your wardrobe reflects your essence, there's no need to force confidence. It flows naturally. That's because clothing becomes an extension of your personality. It carries your preferences, your values, your story. A woman who dresses in alignment with what she believes in and with what makes her feel good transmits a quiet coherence. Anyone looking at her can tell her image is authentic, not an attempt to please or fit in. On the other hand, when we dress solely to meet the expectations of others, the result is always discomfort, both physical and emotional. The outfit might be beautiful, but if it doesn't align with who you are, it won't support your presence. It's like wearing a mask. It may impress for a few minutes, but it doesn't create a genuine connection with those who see you. You already know your preferences, you know what flatters you, and you have nothing to prove to anyone. By choosing pieces that tell your story, whether it's a color that lights you up, a cut that flatters your shape, or a fabric that brings you comfort, you build an image that is solid and unshakable. And the most beautiful part is this: when your clothing is a reflection of your identity, criticism loses its power, because you cannot question the authenticity of someone who lives in harmony with what she wears. 6. Surround yourself with people who inspire and support you. Hurtful comments will always exist. It's an unavoidable fact. There will always be those who look at you with a mix of judgment and envy, especially when you decide to take care of yourself and raise your standards. But there is something far more powerful than these negative voices, and that's the energy of people who genuinely support you. Being surrounded by those who recognize and celebrate your light makes all the difference. These people don't compete with you. They don't try to dim your shine. On the contrary, they encourage you to shine even brighter. They may be friends, family members, colleagues, or even people you've only recently met, but who share similar values and understand that another woman's success does not diminish their own. By consciously choosing your company, you create an environment where criticism loses its strength. It's as if every word of encouragement becomes a shield against any attempt to tear you down. And this support network is also a source of inspiration. Being around men and women who take care of themselves, respect themselves, and live with intention inspires you to maintain your habits, stay confident, and continue investing in your image and self-esteem. Surround yourself with people who, when they see you dressed up, smile sincerely, who look at you with pride, not discomfort, who celebrate your success, whether professional, personal, or visual. And if that means distancing yourself from environments and relationships that drain your energy, so be it. Protecting your light is an essential part of your elegance. 7. Remember why you started. There will be days when the weight of criticism feels heavier. Maybe it's an offhand remark in the hallway, a judgmental glance, or a cutting comment disguised as a joke that, for some reason, echoes in your mind. In those moments, it's easy to be swept up in doubt. Am I overdoing it? Should I go back to dressing like I used to so I don't draw attention? It's exactly in those moments that you need to pause, take a deep breath, and mentally return to your starting point. Ask yourself, why did I begin this journey? Was it to reclaim a self-esteem that had been dormant? To feel proud again when looking in the mirror? To show the world the image of a woman who knows her worth and isn't afraid to take up space? Or perhaps it was to mark a new chapter in your life, one where every detail, from the fabric that touches your skin to the cut that flatters your body, is a conscious choice in favor of who you are. When you reconnect with that reason, it's like reigniting the flame that fueled you at the beginning. It becomes a guiding light, leading your steps even when the road seems full of obstacles. Suddenly, other people's opinions no longer carry the same weight. You realize your commitment is not to their approval, but to staying true to yourself. The truth is, when we know the why behind our choices, we stand firmer in the face of any judgment. A hurtful comment loses its ability to wound because you know it has nothing to do with your truth. It's just distant noise, powerless to change the path of someone walking with purpose. So, on the days when you feel tempted to shrink or hide, remember, you didn't start this journey to please anyone. You started to blossom, to reinvent yourself, to live more fully, more beautifully, and more truthfully. And no careless word can shake a woman who knows and honors her own story. You know, I'm not saying it's easy. It's not. Maintaining elegance, self-care, and self-esteem takes intention, discipline, and often the courage to face the looks and comments that try to diminish what you've achieved. It's a daily practice, and no one is immune to feeling insecure now and then. But that's exactly why I insist every step of this journey is worth it. Because elegance after 50 isn't about following trends or impressing others. It's about respecting yourself, making yourself a priority, and living in alignment with who you truly are. And here's the beauty. When you remain true to yourself, something incredible happens. You begin to inspire other women, sometimes silently, without even realizing it. Your posture, your care, and your confidence become an example to someone who needed the courage to change too. Perhaps that colleague who always criticized you secretly admires your determination. Maybe a friend starts dressing up more after seeing you. That's the power of authenticity. It extends far beyond you. So even when criticism comes, remember that by taking care of yourself, you are paving the way for other women to do the same. And that is far greater than any hurtful comment. From today forward, I want you to promise yourself one thing. Never again shrink yourself to fit into someone else's standard. Your elegance, your care, and your presence are the result of conscious choices, self-love, and respect for who you are. And no one, absolutely no one, has the right to make you believe that's wrong. If someone is bothered, it's because your light is shining too brightly for those who prefer to live in the shadows. And you are not here to dim your glow. You are here to live truthfully, beautifully, and with the freedom to be exactly who you want to be.